Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Brunch and BS. I am your host, Jen.Cohen, and I'm glad that you guys are already starting to show up. And we've got a lot to talk about today. So let's get started. First of all, I can't believe it is already the 2nd of March. This year is flying by. It seems like just yesterday that I was having conversations with people about my first quarter projects, and that seemed like it was so far away. And now we're actually wrapping those projects up. So it's kind of crazy. Anyway, so that is just blowing my mind. And March is always a good month for celebrating because it's my son's birthday. So in a couple of weeks, so he will be celebrating his birthday and leveling up. So let's go ahead. Let's say hi to the folks who have already come in. Happy to have you here. First one in is Amen Prince's Vlogs. I know I mutilate your name so hard, but thanks so much for coming in. Great to have you here. Second in the house was Eddie Lugo. Yo, 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 Brooklyn. How you doing today? Great to have you here. I am doing so much better, Sharon. Thank you so much for asking. I was under the weather for about a week and a half, and it really took its toll on me. So happy to have you here. It's awesome for you to be here. And Eddie shouting out to Sharon. Aaron Smith here, double A. How are you today? Good morning, Brunch Bunch. Photoshopping and listening for now. Okay. Well, what are you photoshopping? Anything interesting? So double A shouting out. And here's Ross with Orange Cone Vlog. Ross, hi. How are you? So great to see you and great to have you here. So Coco. Okay. Glad to see you back. Glad to be back, Eddie. I swear it was a drag. Chet was a real trooper on Friday when he was not feeling well on Sea Leg Journey's channel, and he really toughed it out and made a show for that. It really was, I give him a lot of credit. I just was feeling so lousy. I was so under the weather and just had days of that like fever brain fog where you can't really hold a thought. And I was like, I'm not going to go on YouTube just to say that I'm going live, just for the point of going live and then not being able to even hold a conversation or read a comment or anything else without pretty much going cross-eyed. It was tough. I couldn't even look at the screens. It was bad. AAMCO. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's AAMCO. Pinch poke, yo me a Coke, Eddie. Wow, we are definitely, that's an OG Coke. That's an OG game, you guys. We're definitely dating ourselves with that. I did want to talk about pop culture today and thought we could have an interesting discussion because there is so much out there. There are so many shows, there are so many movies, there's so much everything that is available for people to watch. And I'd like us to be able to share some suggestions and see if anybody has come across a gem that maybe the rest of us haven't seen yet. So yeah, it should be good. Okay, so my number one like pop culture obsession right now is a show on Amazon called Reacher. And I am loving that show. Denise, hi. Thank you so much for coming in today. It's great to have you here. So I don't know if anybody else has seen Reacher. Chime in the comments if you have. It is not the same Jack Reacher that that Tom Cruise played. It's a different take on the character. It's much closer to the actual novels, and it really, I'm really loving it. Season 1 we loved. Season 2 we liked. It was good, but still, season 1, the chemistry with the characters was so excellent in season 1. I mean, just all of the casting was so good and their chemistry was good and things were funny and clever when they just enough to keep it light enough so it wasn't a complete over the top drama. So, yeah, and now we are loving season 3. So, yes, I'm with you, Eddie. Season 3 seems to be better than season 2. I'm really enjoying it quite a bit, even though I liked a lot of the actors who they were using in season 2. I thought they did a great job, but yeah, we're really enjoying it. So every week when new Reacher episode comes out, we're definitely watching it. We're watching them as they drop. We're not holding off and waiting until we save them up and we can binge watch all of them all at once. I don't have that kind of self-control when it comes to that stuff. So, yeah, haven't been watching that. So, obviously, Eddie has been watching Reacher. So, I don't know if anybody else has had a chance to see it. I think it's great storylines. It's good dialogue. I think it's cast really well. And the camera work that they do. I mean, the main actor is Alan Richardson is phenomenal. Richson is phenomenal. But they shoot him from certain angles where he's already a big guy, but it makes him look like, and now his whole head is filling the screen. It's like just really clever camera work and stuff like that. So you like to binge. See, I used to be a lot more like that. And now since so many of these streaming services aren't dropping things all at once, they're going ahead and they're dropping them weekly, 1 or 2 at a time instead of the whole series all at once instead of the whole season. Sometimes I wait and I binge, but no, not always. And Shannon is here. Hey, sweetie, how are you? Great to have you here. Great that you are awake and joining us for Brunch and BS. You're going to add Reacher to your watch list. You're just getting back to Cobra Kai. We are getting back to Cobra Kai also, and that's when we actually will binge. So, yeah, we're good with that. Denise, I'm waiting for the next season of Project 2025. Oops, I mean the Handmaid's Tale. I'm right there with you. Yeah, that's another one that's really amazing show. Silo on Apple TV is very thought-provoking. Ross, I have not seen Silo yet, and we have Apple TV, so I will have to check that out. It's funny because I tend to like things that are a little bit lighter, and more on the comedy side. And then I really love some dramas like Reacher. I really love the action drama in there quite a bit. So Handmaid's Tale is coming out in April. We'll look for that. Hey, speaking of pop culture and things that are coming out, this month on Peacock, they are dropping the movie Wicked. So I'm looking forward to that because I didn't pay for it when it came out on the on digital release. And we do have Peacock, so I'm looking forward to seeing the movie again. I've seen it a couple of times in the theater, and now I think I could watch it at home and really enjoy that quite a bit. So let's see, because of other series like The Pit, Resident Alien, love Resident Alien, On Call, Landman, The Veil, Bookie, and so on. We binge one night, one series at a time. See, that's a great way to do it. That's a great way to do it. So Severance on Apple TV. There are so many things out there. I know that actually Shannon and I were just discussing this in an actual conversation, not a one-way-ish conversation like this, but on the phone the other night we were talking about there are so many shows, there are so many movies, there are so many streaming services that I get these great recommendations from people, and there's just so much to watch. It's like I'm not gonna spend every waking moment in front of the TV, like, watching watching from a pop culture standpoint, but sometimes there's some really good stuff. So you've cheated and seen Reach or Deconstruction. Okay, so the compilations on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, that is kind of cheating, but, I would really like to see I would really recommend Reacher. It's a good one and real good dialogue and stuff, so it's a great one. You haven't seen Wicked yet, Denise? Oh, here you go, and Shannon either. You guys will both finally get to see Wicked. We should do, like, a viewing party because so good, and I promise I won't sing because I have a terrible singing voice. I'll mouth the words. I'll lip sync the whole movie, but I won't sing out loud. So, Dee Dee, I hope that project gets canceled. Oh, yeah, the project, not the show, for sure, Eddie. Absolutely, 100%. Resident Alien is one of the best shows ever made. I agree. I think Resident Alien is so funny, so witty. Love how it's cast. I've been a fan of Alan Tudyk for years and years now. I mean, ever since like he was on Firefly and just have loved him aboard Serenity and all of that. So a major fan of his. Yeah, Eddie, I'm right there with you. Okay, so Resident Alien, we have it. So you're supposed to be asleep. You're going to listen and doze. Ah, Denise, did you work last night? You should be getting some rest. You really should be. Najumra, thank you so much for coming in. Hi, happy Sunday. Great to have you here. And Cheryl, cruising is fun anytime. Thanks for being here. Come on in, and we are talking about pop culture and if there are any shows or movies that you are watching right now that you would particularly recommend and kind of encourage people to watch because there is so much out there. There's so much out there. It's crazy with all of the award shows. There are dozens of movies and shows that I haven't seen. I've heard about. I've heard good things about, but haven't had an opportunity to actually check them out. So, you worked one more shift and I'm off for a week. Yay! Success. That is fantastic. Jeremy. Is that their couple name? Jeremy? I like it. I like it very much. It's very good. Okay, folks saying good morning to each other. So Ross says mainly mainly sci-fi, don't care for much else. Love sci-fi, and that's one of the reasons that I love Resident Alien so much is because it's sci-fi and comedy and some suspense and all kinds of good stuff all mixed in together. So it is a really good show, and I think it's cast incredibly well. So, oh, your sugar's dropping. That's what woke you up. Okay, definitely. Listen and snack. Brunch. See, I'm surrounded by pictures of snacks here. So take take a hint from one of these and eat some complex carbs or a piece of fruit or something. And yes. So reality TV is black, except for the traders is good. It makes you really think. Oh, okay. You know what? I don't historically watch a lot of reality TV. The only reality TV that I tend to like is like the Gordon Ramsay has a show called Next Level Chef that I like. And that's, you know, that's reality TV for as much as anything is reality TV. But yeah, you're craving your second cup of Joe. Definitely get some more. I'm actually having an iced one today, so go for that. So you like Hallmark mysteries. Okay, there we go. You don't watch any reality TV either, Cheryl? Okay. Yeah. You know what? Reality TV, a lot of that tends to be a love-hate thing. The people I know who really like a lot of reality shows like The Bachelor and things like that, love them, get very invested in them, watch every single season of them. I mean, really get totally into them. And then the people I know who don't like have potentially never watched even a single episode because it's just like such a turnoff. I am a much bigger fan of scripted TV. Um, I think there's a lot more creativity that comes along with that, and a lot of the reality TV is, and I do the quotes because it's not reality. That's not reality. It's augmented reality. It's manipulated reality. It's not actual reality. So, yeah, much bigger fan of script TV. You don't care for Gordon Ramsay's a foul-mouthed, egotistical individual. Absolutely. He totally is. That's why I actually like Next Level Chef because it's a lot less of the screaming and that stuff and a lot more of the challenges around the cooking and seeing the creativity of the different chefs. So it's not nearly as much as like Kitchen Nightmares or Hell's Kitchen or anything like that. It's not as much of that. And honestly, Chef Todd, not a huge Gordon Ramsay person either. I mean, thinks that he's an incredibly talented chef. When we were in London, we went to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, the Savoy Grill in the Savoy Hotel, and that was spectacular. Highly recommend. The food was spectacular. The service was impeccable. The decor was gorgeous. It just the whole experience that it was, the dining was actually an experience, and it was hands down the best beef Wellington I've ever had. It was amazing, amazing desserts, amazing everything. So Shannon is saying reality drama, period pieces, apocalyptic shows, usually not my cup of tea. And I only watch because of the video game, but I really enjoyed Fallout. Interesting. So you watched Fallout because of the video game. Okay. And you ended up liking it. See, it's weird because sometimes things that you wouldn't think you would be a big fan of. Now, from a TV show standpoint, best TV shows like ever. Okay. I don't know if anybody's going to agree with me on this, but there was a show called Person of Interest that ran for 5 seasons. And I think it was one of the best done TV shows ever and had one of the best endings ever. They wrapped it up so beautifully. The whole 5th season was this intricate, woven, just amazing. So Person of Interest, definitely. I could still watch that over and over again. All in the Family, I'm totally on board with you, Shannon. I loved All in the Family. Absolutely incredible. That was an amazing show, and that broke a lot of boundaries and a lot of rules and a lot of things, and I loved it for that. And also, just Norman Lear wrote such great comedies. They were so fantastic. See, here's Denise chiming in with me. I know we're right. You're here with me, babe. Person of Interest was excellent on CBS. Yes. Person of Interest, amazing. Jim Caviezel was so incredible in that show. The whole cast was amazing. Amy Acker, they were incredible. Okay, so Dwayne's a huge Ted Lasso fan. I also love Ted Lasso. Is Dwayne excited that it looks like they're going to come back and do another season? Because that was, that was wow. MASH 24, anything Star Trek. Okay. Definitely love 24. Loved the show 24. Still adored that. MASH is one of my absolute all-time favorites. I actually still have reminders on my calendar about like memories and things from certain shows because they ended up rattling me so much. So, like, for example, it's actually on my calendar the day that Henry Blake died on MASH. That's when McLean Stevenson's character died in 1975. That's actually still on my calendar. And it's coming up. It's March 18th is the day that Henry died. So yeah, that was, yeah. Lionel, glasses, root. Yes. It was such a great show. It was such a great show. Least we forget Samin. Yes. And you know what's funny is actually, Aaron, when I see any of those actors now who were on Person of Interest, I still like recognize them from Person of Interest, and I still want them to be that character, and I still want them to be like that. So you've characterized the James Bond film Spectre as essentially a feature-length episode of 24. Yeah, it was. It definitely had that vibe. The clock is ticking, the time is running, what's going to happen, all of that. Now, when 24 was on the air, did you used to binge 24? Because I know what we would do is we would, before the next season would come on, we would do a 24-hour viewing of 24 and watch the previous season again, just to be like caught up and everything else, and just to rewatch it. And because it was fun, marathon viewing, come on, it's a fun way to do it. So I'm with Shannon on this. Ted Lasso is the reason Apple gets money from me. I made it 50 years of my life never giving a penny to Apple. And then there was Ted Lasso, and suddenly I'm giving money. There we go. And your baddie is essentially tech. Yes. Yes. Okay, so Alice loves 24. Is she a big, now let me ask, was she already a big Kiefer Sutherland fan before 24, or was that like a revival piece for him? Because I mean, I was a fan of his from the time he was a younger actor, like doing, now I'm going to blank. The vampire movie that he did. It's not Bad Boys. I wanted to say Bad Boys, and that's not it. The vampire movie with Corey Feldman, Corey Haim. Why am I blanking on it? Lost Boys. Not Bad Boys, Lost Boys. There we go. You people were no help in there. Wonder Boys. No. Lost Boys. There we go. Okay. Now this is funny, and Shannon's probably laughing at me because she was talking on the phone with me the other day when I still had the brain fog going, and she kept asking me like, "Who was that actor?" or "Remember that actor in this?" or "Remember that actor in this?" And I'm like, "No, I can't think of anything right now. I have to Google absolutely everything." So, yeah, all episodes of 24 are on Hulu. I happen to be a big fan of Hulu. I think they've got a lot of awesome content. So yeah, it was Lost Boys. That was fantastic. Big fan of Lost Boys. Fun fact, the very first solicitor hitting up a traveler by airplane was Gregory Ensign, who played the most devious. Really? I knew he had just passed away, but wow. You know what? I didn't remember him from Airplane. That's funny. Now I have to go back and rewatch Airplane because I love those kind of things. So, best sci-fi show that was technologically ahead of its time was Babylon 5. Okay. You think even like in relation to original Star Trek in the 1960s that was like already talking about cell phones and transporters and lasers and all kinds of things that were super far ahead of the time. What did I did not actually watch Babylon 5. So what was so advanced and so technologically ahead of the time? So oh, here we go. So Ross, you would be in agreement with Denise's late brother. Was he another Babylon 5 star? He was a fan? Okay. Okay, let's see. Shannon is saying, speaking of 24, has anyone listened to any of his music? Kiefer's? Yes. Love his CD, very soulful and impressed he can sing given his hearing impairment. Yeah, it's really it is interesting and it is great music. I actually am a big fan of that. So definitely. Crystal, hey, good morning. So nice to have you here. So great that you're here. So big Isaac Asimov fan. Okay. Well, Babylon 5, see, here's Shannon's chiming in saying that she loved that show too. I don't know what it was. It wasn't ever like a deliberate thing where I said, I am not going to watch this show. I just somehow didn't. And then, like, never went back and watched it. So Ross says better than Star Trek. Graphics and the production were ahead of technology during its time. Generated on the Commodore Amiga with a video toaster. Love it. So they were doing the design work on the 5 1/4 floppies, switching those out. So Babylon 5 so long ago might be a show to add to the rewatch list. Okay, so for those of you who are Babylon 5 fans, do you already know what streaming service it's available on? So is it out there? Are all of the episodes available? And can we start like streaming it and binging it and coming up with a new binge? I actually can just I will say that I was a binge watcher before there was streaming. Before binge watching was like a thing, we were binge watching to benefit charity. So for 10 years, I co-hosted an event to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Illinois that was called the Slayathon. And the Slayathon was a 12-hour marathon viewing of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So we would pick episodes by voting of which episodes we were going to watch. We did a silent auction, we did live games, we did all kinds of stuff. It was a really fun event. It was a really great event. And over the course of the 10 years, we actually raised more than $100,000 for Make-A-Wish Foundation of Illinois, and did it while sitting on our butts watching TV, rewatching a show that we were already fans of. So yeah, hey, lazy, let's go. Okay, let's see what folks are chiming in with here. So Babylon 5 also on Hulu, another reason for me to love Hulu. And Eddie saying good morning to Crystal. So current comedy based on a movie on Hulu, History of the World Part 2. I watched it. Fair. It had its moments. It was fair, but I will say that History of the World is Part 1, tough act to follow. That was a funny movie. So that was made in a time where you could not be as worried about political correctness and offending people and all of that. So Nightbot is dropping in to remind you to subscribe if you have not already subscribed. And I am going to actually say that not only for my channel, but the one that I am going to drop into the chat right now is the link. Did I just freeze? Boop, boop, boop. With a silly face. Let's see if it catches up. There we go. Okay, unfrozen. Here we go. This is the link to the Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube channel. Right now, they have about 400 subscribers. This is a channel that needs to be monetized, and we need to spread the word, because this is a charity organization that takes folks who are less fortunate or disenfranchised in some way, who have never been on a cruise before, who would never otherwise have a way to go on a cruise, to get them on a cruise. So if you are not already a subscriber to Helping Hands for Cruising on their YouTube channel, please go over there and please follow along with them. I am going to put my banner up for Helping Hands for Cruising. You can visit their website. Their website has actually just gone through an update. So if somebody wants to drop hashtag HH4C in the comments, that is going to, yeah, pucker up, Jen. Duck face Jen. There we go. I knew it froze. As soon as I copied that thing, I was like, oh, it froze. And of course I had a terrible look on my face. That's always the way. But anyway, HH4C, that's going to give you access to the new website, which has recently gone under a redesign. So it looks phenomenal. It's got the information about the upcoming rock and roll tribute cruise later this year that is a Helping Hands for Cruising cruise. So there will be recipients on board that. And right here, Crystal, thank you so much for dropping the hashtag. It's going to drop both the link to the new Helping Hands for Cruising website and their YouTube channel. Make sure you check out the website. Even if you've checked it out in the past, it's new and improved, and it's still undergoing some construction. So check it out on a regular basis just to see what's up and what's new with that. The other thing is you definitely want to subscribe to Helping Hands for Cruising. We want to get their numbers up to the point that the channel is monetized. Now, what does that mean? That's where the big pennies start rolling in. Once you have become monetized with YouTube, they will actually start to allow you to do things like they will run ads during your content, or before or after your content. You can start having memberships to your channel. You can start doing super chats and super stickers to gain additional funds during live events. People can send you funds as thanks for content that they appreciate. So there are tons of different ways for it to benefit the charity. It costs you nothing to subscribe to a YouTube channel. It's a click. That's all you have to do. So make sure you go over to youtube.com, Helping Hands for Cruising, all run together. If you type it in and search for it, all run together, you will find them in an instant. And go ahead and subscribe over there. That way, you'll be notified when they go live. You'll be notified when they post new information. And they are doing a series right now that Crystal is actually spearheading that is phenomenal, called Behind the Mission. And it's kind of like VH1 when they did Behind the Music. It's the story behind the mission, behind the people who are making that happen. So it is really fantastic. Now, there are some others that I do want to point out. So there are, let's see, part one was epic. Yes, absolutely. They could definitely push the envelope further. Oh my gosh. It was because of Slayathon that I got into Buffy. Until she killed Angel, I never forgave them and never went back. That was early on in the show. There are many things that you can do to train Nightbot, and I have put in a bunch of new hashtags. So if you do like Ross did here, hashtag coffee, you will get a link that you can order your favorite coffees and teas, whether that's K-Cup, loose leaf, grinding your own beans, pre-ground, whatever it is, and different flavors. You can order your coffee online, and 25% of your order benefits Helping Hands for Cruising. So you get your Java fix and you get to make a donation to a worthy charity. Twofer. Fantastic. The other thing that is going on right now is if somebody wants to drop hashtag popcorn in there, there is a fundraiser for popcorn and cookies, and there's cheese spread, and there's meat snacks and all kinds of yummy stuff. I actually got a bunch of the popcorn and the cookies. Delicious. Dangerously delicious. So that is fantastic. And the stuff is going to be, you need to order by tomorrow. So it is open through tomorrow. Yummy snacks. And in this case, for the popcorn company, 50%, half of what you spend benefits the Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish, Helping Hands for Cruising. I'm looking right at HH4C and saying Make-A-Wish. Okay. Morning. Nice brain fog. Definitely need some more coffee. Anyway, so the popcorn sale is open again today and tomorrow. We will probably rerun another session after a few days or a few weeks or something like that. But these fundraisers, the coffee one is ongoing. Popcorn, I haven't reached my goal yet. I'm about 53% to goal. So if you like popcorn, if you like cookies, why not benefit a good thing? And go ahead and order them online. So let's see. One of the funniest things on film was the unraveling of the great plans of the producers as springtime. Oh, yes. Yes. The producers, one of the funniest, best movies, musicals ever. Love the producers. Now, I am actually a fan of the original producers as well as the remake. So the original producers were with Gene Wilder. Love love Gene Wilder, and Zero Mostel, who was absolutely brilliant as Max Bialystock. So he was fantastic. Now, Ross is reminding us of something that I need to make sure to say. It isn't enough just to subscribe. Okay, when you go to a new YouTube channel, if you want the subscription to stick, if you want it to stay and you don't want to have to keep resubscribing to the person, you subscribe, watch 3 minutes or more of a video, and comment on it, like it, something, interact with their content in some way. And that is how your subscription will actually stick, and you will retain your subscription status on that site. Even when you do that, sometimes the algorithm bounces people. So it's always a good idea to check and make sure. Now, here in our environment, if you type hashtag tribe, TRIBE, because we are a tribe here, it's going to drop your YouTube link. And that way other people can find you and we can build our communities together. So that is fantastic. Shannon says, I hate that I can't react to everyone's comments. Great comments in here. We need to make this a watch party. I like that. I like that. All Brooks. Yeah. All of Mel Brooks stuff is just amazing. Oh, hey, how you doing, Paul? PSV Odyssey is in here. Hi, thanks for coming in. Howdy, howdy, howdy. And Ross, this is exactly how you do it. You do hashtag tribe, and it's going to thank you for coming into the live stream and drop your channel. So make sure that you click through and that you, again, watch some of the content, subscribe to the person, and make sure you interact in some way, like, comment, things like that. The algorithm likes the interactivity. And actually, it is the algorithm is designed to give like more credence to content that has comments on it and that has interaction and has likes on it and things like that. So speaking of which, if you have not already liked the show today, please go ahead and like that. That is always helpful. I love the idea of doing a watch party. So Ross is saying a helping hands for cruising watch party with Love Boat and or Doc Odyssey. Oh. Okay. We're talking pop culture today. Who's watching Doc Odyssey? Because I know a lot of these people on here are cruise fans. So are you enough of a cruise fan that you're watching Dr. Odyssey? And are you going ahead and I still love Joshua Jackson. I do. So Aaron is saying he just uploaded to Jimmy the Astute Tourist a design for a new patch for his personal cause. Oh, that's fantastic, Aaron. That's awesome. Let me know when Jimmy starts sharing that out. I'm sure it's absolutely terrific and such a great cause. I know Jimmy's certainly fighting his battle right now. Nettie and JT, good morning. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad to have you guys here today. So yeah, let's talk about Dr. Odyssey and how realistic we think it is. And okay, Ross mentioned 2 shows. He mentioned Love Boat and Dr. Odyssey. So which do we think is less reality based? And I don't know that I don't know. So this is Crystal's doing it exactly the right way. Drop your link in here and make sure that people can find you. That's how we build the crew. That's how we build the environment and our tribe. So that's awesome. So Ross thinks it's Love Boat is like the less realistic one. Now, was it because the crew was always able to focus on, let's see, one person's marriage, for like where the captain, the head doctor on board, the chief bartender, the head purser, and the cruise director all were able to focus on one person's relationship? Because heaven forbid that Mr. Smith didn't get Mrs. Smith an anniversary present, and now he's ruined the cruise. So yes, very cheesy, very funny. I always watched Love Boat. I mean, I was right in that age group where it was on Saturday nights, and that I was usually babysitting on Saturday nights. So Love Boat and Fantasy Island, baby, back to back. Absolutely. So Dr. Odyssey, I've not seen that yet. Gonna have to plug that one in. Okay. We've been watching it. We've been watching it, and I will just say that I still love Joshua Jackson. He'll always be pacey to me, but it is good. So yes, it's entertaining because of the shenanigans. Yes, there were always shenanigans on the Love Boat, and now there's shenanigans on Dr. Odyssey. So talking with Bob. Hi, Bob. Great that you're in here. So great that you're here. And Scott McNeil, hello from the horizon. Awesome. Hope you are having smooth sails. Are you having a sea day today, or do you have a port day today? What's going on with you? So let's see. I've only seen Dr. Odyssey commercials, never the show. I did watch Love Boat. It was fun for its time. It absolutely was. Love Boat was the perfect show to be on before Fantasy Island. It totally was. They went together so perfectly. So Nettie and JT, this is exactly the way to do it. You drop in Tribe, and it goes ahead and it drops in your link. And Scott's having a sea day. Fantastic. Hope you are having great weather while you are gone. And I am jealous that you are sailing. I actually just found out that one of the cruises that I am scheduled for later this year is not going to happen. We've run into a conflict. So having to look for new sail dates, because it's never fun to cancel a cruise, but at least it is far enough in advance that we can get all of our funds back. And we can look at different sail dates and try and find a different time when we want to go. It was a European cruise, and it really should be fantastic. So Eddie saying hello to Scott and saying hey to Bob. Fantastic. Oh my goodness. So now I'm in the mood to actually watch an episode of Dr. Odyssey. I think I'm a few episodes behind. Maybe we'll watch that a little bit this afternoon before we start binging the rest of Cobra Kai, because I do want to finish off Cobra Kai. And you know, somebody asked me if there were any other movies that like from the 80s, let's say 70s or 80s, that you think deserve the Cobra Kai treatment, that you'd like to see them kind of bring those characters and those actors and that story and all of that in. Is there like another series like the Karate Kid movies that would benefit from the Cobra Kai treatment? So, okay. Oh, I'm so glad you're getting better sleep, Bob. I mean, I'm sorry you're missing Eddie, but glad that you're getting more sleep. And you're hooked on Below Deck. you know what? We have friends who are hooked on that show too. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. And Donna's here. Hi, Donna. Thanks for coming in. So great to have you here. Back to the Future 4 needs to be made. Maybe make it a series. Okay. So we could do Back to the Future with a treatment. I bet that Shannon is going to have something to say about that because she's a big Back to the Future fan. So definitely. So, oh yeah, Nettie and JT definitely reach out to me about coming to the Chicago Creator Meetups. We're going to be getting together with more of those. And since you're local, let's get you in on these too. We'll all go out for dinner. That would be fantastic. Back to the Future, just love, just fantastic. So you were hooked on Below Decks too. It's a fun show. You know what? I am interested in getting a gift for someone I know who is a fan of Below Decks because there are several people from that show who are on the Cameo app where they go ahead and yeah. So I think that would make a great gift. If you haven't seen Cameos before where you actually pay for an actor, musician, TV show, some personality, some even social media influencers are definitely doing that. But yeah, I've purchased like 3 or 4 Cameos now, and they've gone over pretty well. They've been well received. And I knew Shannon would want to chime in about Back to the Future. Don't mess with it. Without Michael J. Fox, don't want it. Yeah, I don't know how you do it without him. And unfortunately, he is not in a place where he would be able to participate in that. So yeah, I don't know how you would do it with him. So without him, that would be very tough. So you think you heard they're doing a St. Elmo's Fire? Oh my goodness. Okay. So Aaron thinks that we need to have 2 more Top Gun movies. One to go to Vietnam following Maverick's dad and Viper. The other to cover the Tuskegee Flyers who owed everybody the first competition, who owned everybody in the first competition. Okay, so 2 more Top Gun movies. We could definitely do that. So since your cruise canceled, can we expect to see you on the rock and roll cruise? No, not that cruise. That cruise didn't cancel. My October cruise canceled. The problem that I'm having with scheduling the rock and roll cruise is because it ends on December 6th, and I have a cruise schedule that starts December 7th. So it would be literally back to back. That would be very tough. So that's still going to be a tough one. What about Ferris Bueller? Okay, didn't they try to do a Ferris Bueller TV show? Am I remembering that correctly? That somewhere along the way they tried to do a Ferris Bueller TV show, and yikes. Yeah. Love Boat and Fantasy Island. That was Saturday night, and Friday night was Dallas. Yes. Friday night was Dallas. Always watch Dallas. Had the Who Shot JR t-shirt, the whole thing. That was also a period of time where if you tried to explain to people how big of a pop culture thing that was at the time, they wouldn't understand it because there's so much more TV on right now. There's so much more. There's so many more channels. There's so many more streaming services. There's, just so many more production companies, and there's so much more content out there that it would never be the way it was with that whole Who Shot JR, where that was, do you guys remember? That was like on the cover of Time magazine. That was, forget People magazine. That was like on Time magazine. So yeah, absolutely. So Breakfast Club or 16 Candles, or continuing stories of them as adults with teens. Now that could be interesting. That could be interesting. That's got some potential. I'd love to see Sons of Anarchy. Oh, so Jax's kids are maybe when he was a kid. So like a prequel to Sons to Anarchy, that could be cool. That could be a good one. Definitely. Definitely. Okay, so while it's out of your time frame, I would like a new King of the Hill series with the kids grown up. I loved King of the Hill. Huge fan of Mike Judge's stuff. So, yeah, absolutely. Nick never heard of Dallas. Oh my gosh. Now, are you talking about the original Dallas, Shannon, or are you talking about the remake that they came back and made a few years ago of Dallas, where they tried to do like a reboot on there? So, and yes, I remember Dynasty. The shoulder pads were extreme. That was some deep, fabulous female character writing. Bitch, bitch. That was it. They would just snip at each other and slap. That was amazing. So you'd like to see Sons of Anarchy origin story. That could be very cool. So it was the original Dallas. Yeah, it's painful to get through. It's so 70s. It's so incredibly 70s. So yeah. Wednesday nights. There we go. Was that Dynasty? I don't even remember when it was on, but just loved it. Loved Dynasty. Was not a fan of Falcon Crest. Another one that was like in that whole thing. Now, if you like Dallas, did you watch the spinoff? Did you watch Knots Landing? Because that was spinoff central there with Joan Van Ark and all of them. So yeah, that was super campy. Super campy. Who remembers Super Train on NBC? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember Super Train. Don't know that I would want to bring it back, but yes, totally. Knots Landing, yes. You forgot Falcon Crest? Okay, yeah, Falcon Crest was with Jane Wyman. So she was the big Hollywood star on that one. So yeah, definitely. You didn't like Falcon Crest with Cool Rider. Oh, Shannon, you have put an earworm in my head that will be living there probably through Wednesday, if I had to think, because the Grease 2 soundtrack is going to be living in my head. So Super Train was the most expensive TV show to produce of its time. I don't know that I knew that. That's kind of cool. Okay. That's very cool. Space 1999, remember that? Yes. Okay. No sound. My sound went away? Why would my sound go away? Did I clap and break something? Okay, well, it is time to wrap up anyway. We have been together for an hour. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in today. I appreciate it. This was so much fun to talk about pop culture and to get some recommendations for shows that I can watch. Apparently, I'm going to be watching a lot more on Apple than I realized. So this is all good. So we're good to go with that. Again, Helping Hands for Cruising. Can't say this enough. Please go over, please subscribe to their YouTube channel. We really want to get awareness in here, and we really want to grow the audience of people who know about the organization. That's the goal. So the other thing is that instead of doing another cruiseathon, the next fundraiser is actually the Helping Hands for Cruising Dreams in Motion event. It's going to be starting in the evening on April 11th and going through that weekend. We're going to be booking up overnight on Friday, all day on Saturday, and then we'll look at booking into Sunday as well. But Dreams in Motion is coming up. I have talked with Chef Todd about coming back for another cooking demo and wanted to actually run an idea past you. And someone took your car and the Bluetooth kicked in. Okay, so it wasn't me. Good. Great that I'm live. Oh, so glad to be back and so glad to be on here live today. I hope you all have a great day. Please make sure that of course you're working that weekend, Denise. You're always working the weekend of these things. It's crazy. I think what Chef Todd and I might do is a late night on Friday or on Saturday and do midnight munchies with Chef Todd and see if we can't get some midnight munchies out of him. So that should be great. I hope you get some rest. Nighty night, Denise. Thank you all so much for being here, for coming in. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a terrific Sunday. Enjoy the weather. And yeah, definitely reach out to me about the Chicago's Creators information for Nettie and JT. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much. And I'll see you on Tuesday for Level Up. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.